welcome to Book 101 Review. Book 101 is all about the books that I've read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. She is a medium, intuitive, psychic, certified life coach, hypnotherapist, Qigong instructor, and Reiki master teacher, as well as an author and the author of the book Shift Your Energy, Change Your Life, break free from fear-based mindset, and attract the life you want now. None other than Miss Connie Smock.
Hi, Daniel.
Welcome.
Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Welcome, Miss Connie, on Book 101 Review. And can you please introduce more about yourself that I miss?
Well, you did a great job, and thank you so much for having me here. You're talking about my favorite topic, which is energy and my book. So, a little bit about me. I started this journey about energy as a young child. My mom was an amazing intuitive, a healer, energy worker. She taught classes. She did the Jose Silva. So, she was a huge mentor for me growing up and being in this spiritual realm. This was my normal. So as a kid, I grew up with all of this being a normal. And back, I won't say how many decades ago, but many decades ago when I was a kid, this wasn't mainstream like it is now. And I never realized the gift that I was given having a mom who was into all of this spirituality and all the things that she talked about then. It's all coming out now. And she used to actually say, she would say, "You heard it from me first. You heard it from me first." And now I understand because it's all coming out about you ourselves have the ability to be able to shift our situation, and we have way more control than what we think we do to be able to create the life that we want. So I spent my whole life, I was in corporate for many, many years, and I always did this on the side. So for the past 35 plus years, I've been giving readings, teaching classes, workshops, how to manifest, working with energy. I've taken multiple certification classes. As you mentioned, there's Qigong, Reiki, several different forms of Reiki, so many healing modalities, black belt in karate. I studied martial arts. I've done, trying to think of all the other things you did mention quite a bit. So I think you covered most of it, but I think you get the picture is everything is energy. Just because we can't see it doesn't mean that it's here. And the thing that really about me that I wanted to, why I wanted to write this book is because being a psychic medium and during the readings, loved ones and guides and angels would bring things up during the session about what they were struggling with in life. And so I would start off delivering messages. And then it would shift to kind of coaching them about where their mindset is. Why are they struggling? Where's the chaos? Where's the loop? Where are the loops? Where are the patterns, the toxic patterns that they keep replaying in their minds? And then I went through several experiences, one in particular that really was the root or the cause of writing the book is how to overcome like forgiveness and grief and resentment, because those are the things that are really going to hold you back. So how can you release that in a healthy way? And I developed this technique that I wrote about in my book. And the technique is really using energy and different tools and techniques that I've learned along the way with Reiki and Qigong and different forms of these ancient methods that are now coming to light that are so helpful and even healing. If somebody has a physical injury or a physical dis-ease, there's a reason for it. There's a root cause. So I was coaching people during on my session. So I thought, if I put all of this into a book, it'd be so much easier to get them started. I could still do the reading, connect with loved ones on the other side, coach them on what they needed to coach, and then they can continue it with a book and they can pick and choose what they want. It's for beginners, it's for intermediate, advanced. I think anyone can probably pick this book up and get something out of it. And it's one that you kind of want to keep at your bedside because there's certain parts that may resonate in certain aspects of your life or certain times of your life. And then other times, there's going to be other aspects in the book that will resonate more too. So the key is consistency. And I feel like people will read a book, people get excited about things, they get their energy leveled up, which that's when you attract what you want in your life, is when you have more of a higher vibe. But then life gets in the way and they keep continuing this loop. So from the book now, I'm going to actually be doing some group coaching through Zoom to help people stay on track based off the concepts in my book and the different things that I've learned throughout my whole life of studying energy and how we can use this life force energy that's available to us to be able to transform our life, to be able to get what we want, to get that dream job, to get that relationship that we want, and to really be on purpose and live your life and not be afraid. Don't run off of, I shouldn't say don't run off of fear. We all have fear, but it's recognizing, is this fear holding me back? What is the fear? What is the underlying fear of why I'm not moving forward? So all of these things were the catalyst, if you will, for me to write this book so people could have it all kind of in one place that they can go to at any time of their life and be able to benefit from it. It was a long-winded answer, Daniel.
Yes, and thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world, Miss Connie. Thank you for empowering us. Your book's title promises that we can shift our energy or to change our lives. For someone who thinks of energy as an abstract concept, what does a tangible energy shift actually feel like in a body and mind?
That is a great question. A tangible shift can be subtle and it can be not so subtle. Shifts can occur in many different ways. Let's say a tangible shift could feel like I'm starting to work with energy. I'm starting to shift how I feel because it's not so much about what you say. It is because thoughts have a vibration and what you say has a vibration, but feeling overrides the thought and overrides anything. That feeling is what's going to drive not only you, your thoughts, but that feeling is also going to attract things. So as you start to shift your energy, you may start to feel happier, you may start to feel more fulfilled. It's and some people experience it in subtle ways. Some people experience that tangible shift in more physical ways. They start to feel better with their health because once you get to the root of, let's say it's a health issue of any quote unquote disease, you start working on that root. Let's just take cancer for instance. If somebody has cancer and let's say they cut it out or they do other things to be able to remove the cancer, if we don't identify what that root is, it may come back, and it may come back in a different spot because we haven't worked through the root of why something is quote unquote eating at us. What is this? What am I harboring inside? So those tangible shifts could be feeling better. It can be better health. More times than not, what'll happen, especially if somebody's struggling and their life, usually when people struggle, their life gets chaotic because the universe is trying to show you, hey, this isn't working anymore. And we try to stay in this chaos. And sometimes we get addicted to chaos, which I write about in the book too, and how to break that loop. So, this chaos that we're feeling that doesn't feel so good, it actually is a good thing because if there's chaos, that means your soul's trying to grow. The universe is trying to say, hey, look at this situation. It's not working anymore. But as humans, we tend to we want to stick it out. We want to overcome it. We want to keep on going. or we just feel comfortable and there's fear of moving forward. So we stay stuck in this space. Once we start to realize that when you shift your energy inside, everything starts to shift around you. The tangible shift can be the chaos starts to slow down. The chaos starts to step aside. And oftentimes, things that will happen that used to bother you before no longer bother you anymore because you realize that, okay, this is a trigger. This is a pattern in my life that I need to move past. Do we move past it completely? Sometimes. I'm not going to say that every person moves past it. Even I myself still get triggered sometimes. The difference is I'm able to move past it quicker. So my tangible shift is I don't stay stuck anymore. If there was an issue, something that didn't work, I ask myself a few questions. I'll say, what is this experience trying to teach me? I'm learning from this because we're learning from every person, every experience, everything. What is this thing or person trying to teach me? What do I need to learn from this? And what do I need to shift and change so I can move forward in my life? So those are kind of the three questions that I ask. And once I identify it, that tangible shift can be I'm not in that chaos anymore. I'm not in that situation anymore. I'm not in that energy that is bringing me down because I'm stuck in the chaos. So that's a tangible shift can be felt emotionally, it can be felt physically, spiritually. Maybe you start living your life purpose. That could be a tangible shift. More oftentimes, when you start to elevate your energy, as we grow spiritually or we work on ourselves, our energy levels up. And then there's people who don't work on themselves. Let's take a relationship, for instance. If this person doesn't work on themselves and they're still here, but this person keeps working on themselves, that disparity in the energy, that disparity in the vibration becomes a repellent to people. And it starts to it's like an irritant. And that's the first clue, like, wait a minute, something needs to shift and change, right? There's a reason
Mm-hmm.
this person is really getting underneath my skin now. And so that's something to look at too. And then the people can choose to work on it together. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And sometimes not so much. They've learned what they needed to learn from that situation. So now it's time to move on. And it doesn't mean the person has to be out of your life completely, but that's something that would be on an each individual basis that they need to take a look at their life to say, is this relationship, does it work? And if it doesn't work, is there a way that we can get this to work? What can we do to shift the energy of this? So if you, in my view, if you look at everything as energy and what do I need to learn from it? How can I shift this? You should start to see some tangible results or shifts in one area or another. Like I said, physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual. So it can be all different in varying degrees, depending on what you have going on in your life at the moment.
Miss Connie, you talk about fear-based mindset. Why is it our brain's default setting, and what are the most common subtle ways this mindset masquerades as being realistic or responsible?
That's another great question. So, if you think of a mindset, the mindset is something that's a seed, right? A seed is something that's been planted, whether it's a past life, this life. So, we have our beliefs based off our experiences. Whether again, it may be we may not even know why we have this mindset per se and these fears. So, what if there was a belief that, let's take money, money doesn't grow on trees? And this becomes very real to the person because that is the energy the person has. They have a feeling of lack. Their mindset is on lack. Their mindset is you have to work really, really hard to get money. Don't get me wrong, it's good to work hard. And at the same time, there are so many people who have a mindset of money is the root of all evil. Money is dirty. Money has germs. So what happens? I have this mindset now that money isn't good. That money, having money, or it's hard to get, or it separates people. This is the mindset that's a fear. That becomes a reality to that person. To another person, it's a different reality. To another person, they love money. Money flows to them very easily. Money does grow on trees. And if you shift the mindset of focusing on the lack of that reality, your new reality becomes now when you receive a bill, instead of saying, "Oh, great, how am I going to pay for this?" is now I'm focused on not having money to pay that bill. I'll get more bills because that's where my focus is. That's where my mindset is. That's my reality. That's the seed that's been planted. Now, the other seed, the other person who says, "Well, I look forward to unexpected ways this shows up. I am letting it go." That's their reality. Their reality is money is just an energy, and we can draw in that energy at any time that we need. So there's two different, well, there's probably multiple realities, but that is, a, to me, a good example of people, their mindset, the energy they have, and how it becomes their reality.
Miss Connie, the phrase attract the life you want is powerful. How do you define attraction in this context? Is it a mystical law? Is it about energetical aligning ourselves with opportunities with the otherwise mess?
All the above. So to me, attraction is you have to be in alignment for something. So how do you get into alignment with something? You have to feel it. You have to feel the energy of what that would be. So if I want to attract something, I have a feeling those atoms that this is scientifically proven. So it's scientific plus I feel I'm going to say a little magic. I think it's a little bit of both. So these atoms that are created from these thought patterns or these feelings that we have, they go out there like these little rays, right? These little energy thing waves, and like magnets, and they attract other atoms that match that vibration, and then they pull an experience in to you that matches the vibration that you're feeling. That's why if you're feeling, let's take money. If I'm feeling money, it's hard to come by. I live week to week. It's black and white. This is all the money that I make. I'm not going to be able to support myself. Whatever it is that this reality that we have, that we've created, can be shifted by a feeling of now shifting the atoms inside of what we're feeling, of more of an abundant mindset of attracting wealth. And really it starts from within. So if I start working on myself and seeing the value in myself and seeing how much value I have, that's going to shift my energetic frequency. That's going to change and alter those atoms that go out there and attract other atoms. Now, what I'm doing when I start valuing myself and valuing my worth, now these atoms are going out there attracting other atoms of wealth and success and pulling that in and magnetizing it. You can do the same with money. You can do the same with relationships. You can do the same with career, with anything really that you want in your life. But it's really working on rewiring that the atoms, if you will, that feeling, the thought process, all the above, to be able to shift your experiences of what's being returned back to you.
Miss Connie, when someone is deeply entranced in fear, anxiety, or scarcity, what is the very first smallest energy shift they can make that can start a ripple effect?
If they're in a lot of fear, if they have some fear based thinking, the first thing I would do is look at their patterns. Why is the fear coming up? Because you want to get to the root. That's going to be the quickest way to shift anything. There's so many different techniques that you can move energy through your body, but a real big key is first identifying where your pattern is. So start noticing if it's money, start noticing how far back this the money issue goes. And what are your beliefs about money? What did your family believe about money? What did your parents say about money? And start shifting the energy and start sitting with the feeling of what it would feel like to have money and to have value and to have that energy shift take place per se. There's other forms of energy techniques that can be incorporated in with that to help move things through your body, because your body stores everything. Your body, there is a book, I haven't read this book, but it just, I don't know why the term just came up. Your body does keep score. And I know there's a book about that, which I haven't read, but I've heard it's good. But your body remembers trauma. Your body remembers what other people feel, say, and think. And we take that on as our own. So we want to release that out of our body. So the quickest thing I would say is get that out of your body. Get out how you feel about the situation and then release it. And then incorporate some other techniques like Qigong, Tai Chi, yoga, exercising to be able to process. Deep breathing, I would say, would be the quickest and easiest thing that anybody can do. It isn't, what I learned in Qigong was 70% of physical and emotional toxins are released through the breath of that deep exhalation when you're deep breathing in and then you exhale with your mouth open. You're releasing 70% of the physical and emotional toxins that are stored in your body. So if you continue to do this while sitting with the feeling of what it would be like in shifting the energy of money does grow on trees. I tracked it and feeling what it would feel like to have all of these good things that you want in your life. Reiki can help too. Anything that will help to release and move things through your body quicker. It's like peeling back an onion. But going back to the breathing, that is something that's very free. You can do it. It is free, but it's very easy to do. It's just remembering to do it and having consistency. With anything, consistency is key in showing up for yourself. And breathing in through the nose and exhaling through the nose, you build chi energy. Breathing in through the nose, exhaling out the mouth, you release those toxins. So just by deep breathing and shifting how you feel can be a minor change that anyone can do right now. You don't need to know any techniques, something you can do right now today to start shifting that energy. And it doesn't have to be about money. Maybe people tend to pull in narcissistic relationships. So it's really working on the self or pulling in relationships that are imbalanced. Maybe the person is over giving all the time. So sitting with the feeling of what it would feel like to have a balanced relationship, and also identifying the patterns of why they keep attracting the same type of person in their life, and recognizing that pattern. Awareness is going to be number one. Awareness is key. So if you're aware of where it's coming from, then you can notify the patterns and identify them and start shifting the energy of what it feels like and doing some deep breathing to help move it along and help process the emotions and things that are stuck in the body.
Miss Connie, what are your short-term and long-term goals as an author?
Short term goals are to continue doing some live events. And as an author, I'm actually doing some group coaching that is based off of my book. It's a 4-week program. And during that, I'll have some hypnotherapy meditations to be able to rewire the brain. With it's called pre-sleeps. You just listen to it at night before you go to bed. There'll be one in the morning to start your day because, I'm all about the energy. However, you start your energy in the day is how your day goes. So if people can start to get in the habit of starting their day with a good morning routine, like deep breathing, that would be the first thing I would say, is because it's very easy to do. Deep breathing is short, yoga, whatever you can do in the morning. And then it'll be hypnotherapy, meditation, and kind of working through what I was talking about. And what I have in my book is about how to identify those patterns and how to shift the feeling that you have in your body. So that would be the short-term goal, is to get that out there and to really start pushing that. That will start January 12th of next year of 2026. And then, yes, that would be the short term right now.
Well, good luck to your goals and looking forward for more success. And what will be your piece of advice for those people that don't want to be like you?
The piece of advice I would be is to not accept what is going on in your life if you don't like what's going on, and you do have more control than what you realize. And everything that shows up, every person in our life is there for a reason, season, and a purpose. And so once you can realize why that person or what the experience is here to show you, you can help shift that energy, and you do have more control. It's really moving to love from fear.
Well, thank you for that advice, Miss Connie. And can you please recommend a book or books that influence your Johnny?
Yes, absolutely. The Seven Sacred Flames, Working with Ascended Masters, Working with Energy is a great book. Sons of God is a great book. It teaches people, it's a true story of how a woman lost everything, but she trusted. She came from a place of love and not fear. And that is a very inspiring book. How Yoga Works is another one of my favorites. It's about shifting the energy within you. It's not really about the outside world, and all of these books kind of show that of we have the ability to shift it. It's just these people are just actor. Anybody in your life or experiences are actors in your play to get you to move from fear to love. I know it sounds kind of like a, you know,
Mm-hmm.
dichotomy way of
Yes.
thinking, but yes.
Thank you for that recommended book, Miss Connie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you could have every reader adopt just one a daily practice from your book, which one would you create the most profound cumulative change?
The most profound is the one about the forgiveness and releasing resentment. It sounds long, but it's very easy to do. It's really getting the emotion out of your body. It takes a minute before you go to bed. That's the first step. Second step is shining a big, beautiful white light, because that does so much. And I don't know how much time, so I'll make this brief. The third step is thanking the person in your life, because that person is your biggest teacher to help learn your life lessons, and then sending them love, calling in Saint Germain and the violet flame to transmute any negativity, because that transcends time and space. So it can help with karmic binds, past life issues, all different kinds of things. And then just really focusing on what you want, because now you're working with all this high energy, and it takes a minute before you go to bed. So it doesn't take long at all, but that is what helped me in my life. It shifted and changed my life in so many profound ways. And I developed that to help me get through certain things that I was going through in my life, which I read about in my book.
Hmm. Yes, indeed. And before we wrap up our discussion today, Miss Connie, I'm inviting you to please don't listen to my other podcast, people, because my abstract essay is already in fifth season, abstract poetry in second season, and my book 101 review in fifth season too, comedy 101 in third
Oh,
season, and food 101 in fifth season as well, geography 101, love letters, movie 101 review, music 101, our fourth season, Science 101, Sex 101, and second season of my baby podcast, Law 101, Mental Health 101, and my Bible Verses 101. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. So, Miss Connie,
great.
finally, if your book is an invitation to a new way of living, what is the very first step you want someone to take after finishing in the last chapter?
The last chapter is it talks about it talks about energy and clearing your energy field, and what that does is basically anything that's physical is also pertains to the spiritual world. So if we never took a bath at all, our physical body would get really, really dirty. And it's the same with our energy field. Our energy field needs to be cleared and cleansed every single day, because we're light beings. So we collect and attract all these different types of energies, low, high, and you want to make sure that you're clearing that energy field often. The quickest way is you can ask Archangel. This is what I do when it's to. I have a couple of them in my book, but
Mm-hmm.
basically it's asking Archangel Raphael and Archangel Michael with their blue and green tornado to clear the energy field, and then I follow up with Saint Germain the violet flame to transmute any negativity, and then fill myself up with white light, because white encompasses all the colors of the rainbow, so it balances out the chakras. So you're doing a lot just within those few things, but definitely doing that on a daily basis, because you want to keep that energy field clear, just like your physical skin.
Yes, indeed, Miss Connie Smock. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world, most especially your energy itself. So, can you please invite our listeners to support your book, your advocacy, or whatever projects that you're doing right now?
Did you say how to reach me? I'm sorry.
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Yes.
How
So
do
they can go to my website, ConnieWarriorOfLight.com, and that has all of the information on there to be able to either reach me and or see what the new things that I have coming up.
Yes, people, let's support Miss Connie Smock because if you support her, for sure, more and more empowering books to come, more and more empowering advocacy to come. So, Miss Connie, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Daniel. My pleasure.
More to come, people. See you soon.